Earl Slick is a guitarist best known for his collaborations with David Bowie, John Lennon, Yoko Ono, and Robert Smith, although he has also worked with other artists including John Waite, Tim Curry and David Coverdale, in addition to releasing several solo recordings. Musical career: in the early 1970s, Earl Slick gained his reputation on New York music scene as a guitarist while playing in a band called Mack Truck featuring both singer-songwriter Jimmy Mack and his brother, drummer Jack Mack. His work with Scottish singer-songwriter Jim Diamond was as the duo Slick Diamond. They toured and gave performances for a short time in the late 1970s. Slick was initially hired by David Bowie to replace Mick Ronson as lead guitarist for the Diamond Dogs tour in 1974. Slick also played lead guitar on Bowie's Young Americans and Station to Station albums, released in 1975 and 1976 respectively. It was Slick's powerful playing that made the latter albums stay an enduring favorite of fans of Bowie and of guitar virtuosity alike. After running afoul of Bowie's management, Slick was replaced as lead guitarist for the 1976 Station to Station tour by Stacy Haydn. Slick continued working in the studio with former Mott the Hoople frontman Ian Hunter, John Lennon, and Yoko Ono, but also formed his own solo band, releasing both Razor Sharp and Earl Slick Brand in 1976. Slick performed on Lennon and Ono's Double Fantasy. During the sessions for Double Fantasy, the material for 1984's Milk and Honey was recorded as well. Slick also joined Ono in the studio for her solo album, Season of Glass. Slick returned to Bowie for 1983's Serious Moonlight Tour, which supported the Let's Dance album. After the Serious Moonlight Tour, Slick contributed to Box of Fog's eponymous album. At that time, Slick co-founded Phantom, Rocker and Slick with Slim Jim Phantom and Lee Rocker. The band released 2 records, Phantom, Rocker and Slick and Cover Girl. Rolling Stones guitarist Keith Richards contributed a performance to the single My Mistaken Experience. Slick cites as one of the most memorable in his career. Between the 2 Phantom, Rocker and Slick albums, Slick appeared with Carl Perkins and a host of other musicians including Eric Clapton, George Harrison, Ringo Starr, and Razam Kash for 1985's Blue Suede Shoes, a rockabilly session. In 1990, Slick collaborated with David Glenn Easley in the band Dirty White Boy, which only released 1 album, Bad Reputation, and industry showcases in London and Los Angeles. He also played briefly in Little Caesar in 1991-92. Working with mentor Michael Kamen, Slick contributed to several soundtracks in the 1990s, including Hudson Hawk and Nothing But Trouble. He released another solo record, In Your Face, in 1991. The early 2000s saw Slick return to Bowie's roster, appearing on the studio albums Heathen and Reality. Slick toured with Bowie in support of those albums as well, and performed on the Bowie DVD and double CD Reality tour. Working with producer Mark Platey, Slick released a solo album, Zigzag, which featured guest performances by David Bowie, Robert Smith, Joe Elliott, Royston Langdon and Martha Davis of the Motels. Slick then contributed guitar tracks to a Mark Platey remix of The Cure's A Forest, which appeared on Join the Dots, B-Sides and Rarities in 2004. From 2006 he was a member of both the Eons with singer-songwriter Jeff Safin and Slinky Vagabond. Slinky Vagabond were Glenn Matlock, Clem Burke, and Keenan Duffy. Slinky Vagabond played their debut concert at the Joey Ramone Birthday Bash in May 2007. On February 11, 2011, UK-based Noble Prairie announced Slick had joined the New York Dolls for their March UK tour. New York Dolls rhythm guitarist Sylvan confirmed the report, "We made some calls and now we finally have got Earl Slick playing guitar. So Earl's going to be joining us for the upcoming tour. He's the newest member of the New York Dolls, if I can put that right now." In January 2013 he contributed on guitar for David Bowie on his new album, The Next Day. In May 2015, Slick joined the Yardbirds, replacing guitarist Top Topham. In August 2015 it was announced that Slick had left the band and was replaced by Johnny A. Endorsements and other ventures, Slick has a long-standing relationship with Didgeridoo Strings and Accessories. In 2010, Slick announced that he had begun marketing his own line of customized guitar straps, called Slick Straps, in an exclusive distribution deal with Guitar Fetish, an online guitar customizing shop. In addition to the Slick Straps line, Slick has been quoted as endorsing the GFS line of guitar effects pedals marketed by Guitar Fetish. In 2011, Framus International announced the release of the Earl Slick signature model guitar. In 2014, Slick announced the exclusive distribution deal with Guitar Fetish of his own brand of guitars, featuring his own custom wound pickups, and aged hardware and finishes. Each is a stripped-down model, with only a single volume knob for simplicity. There are currently 4 models available, the SL52, the SL54, the SL59, and the SL50. Equipment. Guitars. Slick's mostly used guitars while working on the last David Bowie album and while touring with New York Dolls in 2011/2012 were his Framus signature model and a Framus Mayfield Electric. Amps. Slick has a Somatone signature model custom built to his specifications called the Slick 18. He owns the first production model with orange Tolex, custom red Somatone Roaring 40 head and 2x12 open back cabinet. Pickups. Slick uses DiMatteo pickups in his Gibson and his custom guitars. Pickups used, DiMatteo HS2, PAF Pro, Super Distortion, DiMatteo Soap Bar. Strings. D'Addario. Discography. Solo discography. The Earl Slick Band, Razor Sharp, In Your Face, Lost and Found, Live 76, Slick Tracks, Zigzag. With Silver Condor. Silver Condor. With Phantom, Rocker, and Slick. Phantom Rocker in Slick, Cover Girl. With David Bowie. David Live, Young Americans, Station to Station, Heathen, Reality, A Reality Tour, The Next Day. References. External links, Official Facebook, Official Twitter,